What's up guys, Sean here, and this is the Grimsmo Norseman review. This is a knife that my buddy Micah sent me about 2 weeks ago, and I've been carrying it almost every day since. This is a really amazing knife. He sent this along with 4 other knives to review, and this is by far my favorite out of the 5. This is a very impressive knife right here, but real quick before I get into the review, I want to show you what I'm carrying today. And I'm carrying the SPYDERCO Swish Buoy. This is the Knife Joy exclusive in M390 blade steel with a belt satin finish. Very expensive knife, $400 for a titanium frame lock on phosphor bronze washers. No lock bar insert, no over travel stop, nothing really fancy besides the fact that it has contoured titanium scales, has a G10 backspacer, has a beautiful crown spine, and this knife cuts very well. And it's very comfortable in hand. Something about it I just really love and enjoy. So yeah, that's this one. And then for my secondary, I'm carrying my Maximet Para 3. This one has some Cerberus radar scales, has a KME edge that I put on here, 17 degrees per side, mirror polished. I actually did this mirror polish with the Gunny Juice Diamond Emulsions. I did the full progression from I think like 9 micron all the way down to 0.01, or no, maybe it was 0.05, either 0.05 or I don't know. You gotta check the video. But yeah, if you guys haven't checked out Gunny Juice before and you are into stropping and you're interested in checking out some diamond emulsions, I highly recommend it. I did a full comprehensive video on how to use it and also reviewed it all in one video. So you can find that in my videos right here on the channel. This mirror polished edge came out absolutely insane. And then I did a forced patina on this blade with yellow mustard. This side came out looking really cool. I love how this side came out. This side kind of boring, but it's not bad. Really cool little knife though. This thing is a cutting machine. This Maximet keeps the edge forever. So good shit. Alright, moving onward. So the moment you guys have been waiting for, the Grimsmo Norseman. Now I came up with a somewhat new format for my reviews. I have come up with 26 categories on which I rate the knives on. Each one of those categories is worth a maximum of 5 points, and I give you my score or my rating and an explanation for my reasons for each of those. And while we're getting started, I'm going to put the specifications up here somewhere so you guys can look over that as I am giving you my ratings on this beautiful knife. So starting off with the first category, it is going to be ergonomics. This knife scores a 5 out of 5, has very nice ergonomics, fits the hand like a glove. I wear size large gloves. I have plenty of room on this handle. I'm pretty sure even people with double, triple XL size hands would be perfectly fine on this, and I think it would still be comfortable if you had a little bit of a smaller hand also. It's just a great feeling knife in hand. I really like this little hump right here with the nice smooth spaced out jimping, and we have a nice crown spine. So everything about this just feels really good. Every corner and edge of these titanium scales and frame lock side is rounded and contoured and nice and smooth. Very, very good feeling. So Ergonomics obviously scored a perfect score of 5 out of 5. And another interesting fact about this knife actually scored more perfect scores than any other knife I've reviewed. This thing is very impressive, guys. There's nothing else like it. This is definitely a one-of-a-kind knife. I wouldn't say it's my favorite knife of all times, because I absolutely adore my Hinders. This is my favorite knife of all times right here. But this knife absolutely beats the Hinder in several categories. However, there are a couple that I do like the Hinder better in, but it's really hard to beat this knife right here. So, going down the list, guys. The clip. We have a milled titanium clip right here. Goes in and out of pocket very easy, yet still secure. It is nice and low profile, low down to the frame lock side. So it doesn't stick out and bother you. It's not a hot spot. Nice rounded edges, no sharp points, and it's also somewhat deep carry. So this does carry nice and deep, but it sticks out of your pocket just enough so that it's still easy to grab it and pull it out. So that is very cool. The next category is carry, and it also scores a perfect 5 out of 5. This knife carries excellent due to its slim design. We have nice round contoured edges all over, so this thing feels very good in pocket. No sharp corners to poke you. It's not big and blocky or thick or really anything. You barely notice it in your pocket. I mean, it's a big knife, so you can feel that it's there, but it carries very, very well. This knife cuts like a laser beam. You essentially have two tips and a nice deep hollow grind, as well as a recurve here. It's basically a recurve tanto with a hollow grind. So you know it's gonna cut fucking awesome. I'm sure that beautiful edge that my buddy Micah put on this does it plenty of justice, because this thing blows through material. The recurve, the way the blade is designed, it almost feels like it just sucks the material right into the center portion of the blade, and you just glide right through it. So it is very enjoyable to cut with this. The tanto point right here in front of the recurve, this recurve gives it a little bit more of a pronounced point, and that allows you to do fine cutting tasks and really dig in with that secondary tip. And then the primary tip, you have like a whole extra sectional blade. I mean, you can just do so many different things with this blade. It is very useful. Moving on, the action of this knife, it scores a 5 out of 5. This action is really like no other knife that I've experienced before, so I can't give you anything to compare it to really. The nicest feeling action on a knife that I've ever felt besides this would be my Hinder, and I'm not going to say it's better than the Hinder. I mean, maybe a hair, but it's different, because the Hinder, you have nice controlled smooth drop. All right, this one, it has a really quick drop, but it's really interesting the way they have the detent tuned on this. It feels like it would be a really light detent, and It's funny because if you go check when I did the unboxing on this, I actually accidentally deployed it before I was ready because I was not expecting the flipper tab. Our next category is hotspots. This also scores a perfect 5 out of 5 for the hotspot category because there are absolutely no hotspots. Our next category is cutting, and this knife scores a 5 out of 5. The detent to be so light. So I just basically put my finger on the flipper, and I guess I started to put pressure on it and didn't expect it to fly out, and it was pretty funny. So with this knife having such a soft detent, yet it just flies out. It's like it's not soft as in weak. Like it's a very nice, clean, crisp break, but it takes very little effort. Like, watch this. World's easiest middle finger flick. I'm literally just moving my hand with like the lightest pressure, or moving that finger. Look. And as soon as that detent breaks, the blade just flies out. Like I'm trying to fail it and I can't. It just wants to go. Here, let me give it some gas. The flipper is very comfortable. Nice 2 spaced out jimps on it. Everything is rounded. And I actually didn't even know that this had any jimping on it until I looked, because it is that smooth and comfortable. But it works very well. Here you can push button it, and you can also do a light switch. Very easy to deploy. Thumb studs, very nice. Very easy to thumb flick. I can slow roll it, and I can middle finger flick it. Middle finger flick is so easy, guys. Look at that. Effortless. I think one of the reasons for this knife being so freaking smooth is the bearings that Grimsmo actually machines themselves out of Delrin, and they have ceramic bearings inside of the Delrin cage that works very well. Super smooth. This thing is an absolute guillotine, so you don't want to put your fingers in front of that blade or you might lose it. Alright, moving on. The Detent scores a 4.5 because it is literally, it's almost perfect. It feels great. It's a ceramic detent. It's nice and crisp. It's reliable. You really almost can't fail this knife when it comes to the deployment. However, the close, the blade pops out every time you close it. Probably 9 out of 10 times it's gonna pop back out. It's not the end of the world, but it is pretty annoying. I prefer when the blade drops a little bit slower, not so much of a guillotine, and a more controlled drop, and a little bit stronger of a detent to catch that blade and keep it locked in. Moving on. Hardware scores a 5 out of 5. This is the best hardware I've ever seen come standard on a knife. We have titanium hardware. We have some beautiful intricate milling. Let's see here. Look at these TORX. Blue anodized titanium. We have little circle pattern around the outside of the screw. We have a captured pivot, and we have the Grimsmo logo milled on the captured pivot side. It's also minimal hardware, only 2 screws on the show side. Then we have the pivot screw. We have 2 more, and then we have 2 screws internally that hold this clip on, and we have 1 screw inside here for the hidden over travel stop, and I believe that is it. And they are all the same size. You don't see that anywhere else. No one does all their fucking screws the same size, and they really should. And guess what? They're not little baby screws. They are all T9s. And Grimsmo actually gives you a TORX driver with the knife, as well as a bottle of nano oil in a nice, all comes in a nice case with some cutout foam, nice hard foam too, not the cheap shit. Very nice presentation. The aesthetic gets a 4.5. This knife is absolutely beautiful to me, but the blade shape is somewhat polarizing. Some people think it looks like a horse stick. I don't think so. I mean, I can see a little bit of the resemblance, but you know, this blade is so functional that I can easily look past it because this blade performs really well. For the price, this is going to score a 4 out of 5. This knife's very expensive. That's the only reason it lost 1 point, because it's hard to justify $1,000 on any knife. But if there was a knife that's worth $1,000, you're getting your money's worth with this knife. Every piece of this, besides the actual ceramic detent balls, is machined and made in-house by Grimsmo in Canada. For the value, this gets a 4.5 because this is an amazing knife. It's built to last many lifetimes and it should maintain its value. So if you buy this for retail, you use it for a year or two, you should be able to turn around and sell it and still get the majority of your money back. So that is nice to know. For the fit and finish, this scores a 5 out of 5. Guys, this knife has some of the best fit and finish that I have ever seen from any knife, especially a production model. Just the care and detail that has gone into this is really amazing. And if you want to get a better idea of exactly what goes into this, you should check out my disassembly video that's already up. That way you can see the inside of this bad boy, and there's just a lot to appreciate on this. Everything is made very, very well, very tight tolerances. It is absolutely amazing. The acoustics on this bad boy get a 5 out of 5, and I do not give out 5 out of 5s very easily, especially when it comes to acoustics, because let's be honest, you know, all knives have a different sound and some knives have cool sounds, but most of them really don't. And you know, there's only maybe 2 other knives that I've given a 5 out of 5 for the acoustics, and I think this might even sound cooler than those. This has kind of a metal clank sound and a little bit of a ting. Doesn't do it every time. It actually makes different sounds, which is cool because it would be boring if it made the same sounds all the time. Very cool. The lockup, 5 out of 5. We have a rock solid lockup, guys. It's at about 55%. No lock stick, no lock rock, no play in any direction. Very, very solid lockup. Lock bar access, we have a perfect 5 out of 5. Look at this. No need for any jimping or sharp edges for your finger to catch. All this is nice and smooth and contoured, and my thumb gets to that every single time. Damn, just cut my board. Even with this thin handle, I can still, every time I go to put my thumb across there, I hit that lock bar very easily. Easy to manipulate. I'm fairly certain I could do this with gloves on, no problem. Very good design. My next category is fidget factor. This knife scored a perfect 5 out of 5 for fidget factor. You can flip this thing all day long. You're not going to get sore fingers. You're not going to have any issues, and it does not get old. This action is very nice, very easy to manipulate, so you can just, you know, flip it, close it, flip it, close it very easily. And it sounds cool. It feels good. So makes for a very fidgety knife. The overall design gets a 5 out of 5 because this is a unique knife. It's an original design and it functions extremely well. We have a perfect 5 out of 5 for the materials category. We have titanium scales, titanium hardware, titanium thumb stud, ceramic and Delrin bearings, titanium over travel step. This thing is decked out. For the blade steel, we also get a 5 out of 5. Blade steel is RWL34, and this is actually a martensitic stainless steel made by Damasteel in Sweden. And this steel has a Rockwell of 60 to 61 HRC, and I know that, you know, that's not really soft. It's not crazy, but I can tell you whatever they did with the heat treat definitely works well, because I have been cutting everything I can with this thing and it can still cut paper no problem, and that's the thin catalog paper, so that is very impressive. I've cut a ton of cardboard, all kinds of shit. Awesome job with the blade steel. For innovation, they get a 4 out of 4 because, you know, there's just not anything else like this. They really hit the nail on the head with every single category. They have, you know, this is like a fully loaded car with all the premium options that you want. When it comes to knives, even high-end knives, it's really hard to get every single factor that people want all in one package. And the fact that they actually manufacture all their parts themselves, every single piece of this knife besides the ceramic bearing balls or ball bearings, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Just really nice. The centering is absolutely perfect. Dead nut center. Perfect 5 out of 5. The tolerances, perfect 5 out of 5. I'd say these tolerances are industry leading. Definitely some of the best I've ever seen. And yeah, it doesn't get much better than that. At least I haven't seen it yet. The blade grind gets a perfect 5 out of 5 because we have a recurved Tanta with a nice deep hollow grind, beautiful crown spine, and then we have a nice little flat spot up at the top of the tip. Just I don't know what the functionality of that is, but it looks cool as shit. And yeah, it's a beautiful machined blade. It's not hand ground. This is actually I believe it's milled. That's the mill lines right there. So yeah, that's why the blade looks like that. Very cool. And it's, you know, of course we have a perfectly symmetrical blade grind. And that's one of the benefits of having this done by machine. And I'm guessing laser or water jets, some kind of high-tech shit. I mean, everything is perfect. The factory edge, I was told, was very sharp, even bevels. So that gets a 5 out of 5. The closing gets a 5 out of 5. Very drop shut, super smooth, very impressive. If it wasn't for that, if the detent was just a hair stronger, it would be even better, you know, without that blade popping up. But playing chicken with the blade, almost lost my thumb. Alright, and the last category, guys. This is a new one I came up with, and this category is features. You know, what kind of cool features does this knife have that other knives might not have? Well, we have a over travel stop, lock bar insert, captured pivot, unique design bearings that are machined by them, very intricate milling all over. And this has dual internal stop pins, it's really cool because there's a stop pin for opening and a stop pin for closing. And the reason for that is so they can fine tune the action accordingly to get it dialed in just right. So that is innovative. So 5 out of 5 for features, and I think that sums it all up. So yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. I've really enjoyed carrying this knife, so big thank you to Micah. We are getting extremely close to 950. I think it's only a couple subscribers left before I put up the official entry video for the 1K giveaway. If you are not aware of what that entails, then go back to my previous videos on it and check it out. All the details are in those videos. There's 3 prize packages, so it's going to be 3 winners, and each prize package is pretty substantial. Tons of great prizes. I think we're up to like $700 in prizes, so it's going to be an epic giveaway, especially for a 1K giveaway. The instructions on how to enter that will be in the entry video, so make sure you are subscribed and have the bell notification icon hit to get all notifications, because you're not going to want to miss that entry video or the giveaway drawing itself. So 2 awesome reasons to be subscribed. And besides the fact that who else is doing reviews like this, analyzing things at a level as extensive and deep as I am, because this it's the best knife content on YouTube right here. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm not an arrogant son of a bitch. There's a lot of awesome channels that I look up to and inspired me to do this. I am just one small part of this community, and it's a community that I love, and I appreciate all of you guys that are here with me, spending your time watching my content. I enjoy all your guys' comments. I appreciate the likes. I appreciate all of it. So thank you all for watching. I love you guys. Jesus loves you. Stay tuned, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.